I can't believe this. The Toronto Maple Leafs benched Max Pacioretty, which is going to have a major impact on them going through the rest of this season. Also, Lane Hutson is getting way too much disrespect, and we're going to break it all down for you guys coming up on this episode of Hat Trick HQ. But before we get into it, we got to say that almost 72% of you guys watching aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you're not subscribed, you want to keep up to date on the latest NHL content, or latest NHL updates, make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. But with that said, we gotta jump right into the first topic of the video today, which is the Lane Hutson disrespect is absolutely crazy. And yes, of course, when you're a star rookie for a team such as the Montreal Canadiens, you are going to get a lot of hate from other fan bases, so much as the Toronto Maple Leafs fans, Boston Bruins fans, and just NHL fans in general. But there has been so much disrespect surrounding Lane Hutson and how he's been playing to start this season. And just to bring up a few of these comments, there are many of them on Twitter, on Reddit. We just look at this one here where a Twitter user said, Montreal fans after having Lane Hutson a -4 after they lose 6-3, but he did some cool head fakes at the blue line with obviously a picture of the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, going up to accept an award. And then we also go up to see another Twitter user say, Lane Hutson possessing the puck for 4 minutes in a 4-1 loss, finishing as a -2. And as you can see here, and there's been so much online, so much hate towards Lane Hutson having such a low plus-minus to start the year for the Montreal Canadiens. And if we just look at his stats so far, through 5 games this NHL season, he has had 4 points, all apples, all assists, but he is a -3 so far on the season. And yes, there has been so much, so many people commenting about plus minus. In my opinion, I don't think plus minus matters as a stat, because it only determines how good the team you want are. And obviously the Montreal Canadiens, they're a solid team, but they're not the best team. They're not the worst team in my opinion, but they're definitely on the lower than average scale, which when you're on a team, say like a San Jose Sharks, you are going to have a low plus minus because you are letting in a lot of goals in the run of a game. So that's the reason why Lane Hutson has such a low plus minus, is because the Montreal Canadiens have been letting in a lot of goals to start this season, but I don't think it directly correlates with how he's been playing for this team to start the year. I mean, as one comment said here, yeah, he does his head fakes, but they still lose 6-3, but I don't care if Lane Hutson turns into a bobblehead out there on the ice. I mean, that guy's been so impactful for the Montreal Canadiens to start this season. Yes, he does those little fakes. Sometimes he's looking like he's moving his head like he's in a boxing match. But it is effective. He does throw defenders off with those little fakes. We've seen it, so many times so far this season, where we've seen, I believe it was a clip of him and Matthew Tkachuk, where he threw Tkachuk to the left and took off behind the net to the right, and it just creates so much space for him. And I think saying that, he is not a good player and doesn't deserve to be in the NHL and should still be in college and in the juniors is ridiculous, because I've seen those comments online. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, he has had so much direct impact for this Montreal Canadiens team so early on in this season, and I think he's only going to get better. He's still getting his feet wet here in the NHL. I mean, we seen just last game him throw a hip check. Yes, little Lane Hutson throwing a hip check. It is crazy. I mean, this guy's so fast. He opens his hips and he just zooms into that offensive zone, curls around the back of the net like he's playing the new Ice Cube system in NHL 25. I mean, this guy has been phenomenal for the Montreal Canadiens, and I think he is going to continue the success so far, going into the rest of this season. And I think the disrespect is crazy, because he is the bright spot on the Montreal Canadiens right now. With 4 assists through 5 games, he's looking like maybe he could win the Calder Trophy. Now that would upset a lot of NHL fans. We want to hear your guys' honest opinions on Lane Hutson down below in that comment section. We're going to get into the Leafs news here, which is Patches benched. And yes, obviously the other night we seen Max Pacioretty the healthy scratch for that game, which, a lot of people were very upset about, including myself. I think Max Pacioretty has looked to be a great addition for this Toronto Maple Leafs team, and it didn't make sense to why we bring up this lineup here, to why Max Pacioretty doesn't make this lineup. I'm not going to go down through the complete lineup here, but if you look on that third line left wing position, where we see a guy like Pontus Holmberg, not to say Pontus Holmberg isn't a great player, but he isn't Max Pacioretty. I mean, this guy had so much impact for the Toronto Maple Leafs early on in that preseason and looked to be one of the best PTO signings of the year in the entire NHL. And we see him now going through 3 games. We just bring up his stats. He has 1 goal, and he's averaging about 11 minutes time on ice, so he's getting that third, fourth line ice time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But in my opinion, when he's out there on that ice in those 11 minutes, he is creating chances. He's doing his job as a third to fourth line left winger at 35 years of age. I've seen a lot of Toronto Maple Leafs fans say, yeah, he's old, he's slow, that's why he got benched. I don't think particularly that is the case. Yes, he is 35 years old. Yes, he isn't the Max Pacioretty that he once was, but he has shown so far in this preseason and early on into this season to be a great veteran addition for this Toronto Maple Leafs club, and benching him this early on into the season doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense completely at all, because he has been such a great contributor for this team. It might not look it on the stats so far. I mean, 1 goal in 3 games is a small sample size, but he could be, have zeros across the board. I mean, he could quite have that, but he doesn't. He has 1 goal, and I think keeping him in this lineup is what the Toronto Maple Leafs need to do if they want to be successful. I mean, early in those first couple of games, we didn't see any of the top dogs eat at all. None of them had goals, and very little of them had points. So having guys like Steven Lorentz, like Max Pacioretty, that are down in that bottom 6 grinding it out and getting those goals for your team is what you need, and sitting one of those guys wasn't the best decision in my opinion. And going into this next game, do I think he will be benched? I really hope he isn't. It wouldn't make sense for Berube to bench him in back-to-back game situations, but it could quite happen. Maybe there's something happening where he isn't seeing Patches fitting into the system like he thought he would. But I do think we will see Pacioretty back into this next game, and maybe he'll have a little bit of extra chip on his shoulder now that he's been sat for a game. But didn't agree with this decision. Want to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section as well. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to friend of the channel here, Jimmy. Jimmy's been supporting us for quite some time, and want to give you a shout out here towards the end of the video on how much your support actually means to us here. He says in this comment, so glad you're trying hard for the Leafs to make a trade by calling Liljegren great. I know, I got a lot of flack for that in the comment section in the last video by calling Lily great. You know what, maybe that wasn't the best word choice for me. I'm going off the top of the head in these videos, but I do think that Liljegren is a solid defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and any contending team would be lucky to have him. But shout out to you once again, Jimmy. If you guys want to be featured in the next comment today, make sure to leave a comment down below on this video. I'm looking forward to reading all your guys' thoughts about Lane Hutson. I think they're going to be a fun comment section to read today. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 5,000 subscribers here. So if you're not subscribed already and you want to keep up to date on the latest NHL content, make sure down below and hit that subscribe. And coming soon, we're going to have a lot of more all around the NHL news for you guys, so you don't want to miss out on that as well. And with that said, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.